What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Holy Paladin, doing some 2v2 with Plum on his Death Knight. This is Dragonflight Season 3, and these matches are from the same session that I posted earlier in the week, so this is kind of like a part 2. I didn't want to make that video like a 30-minute video, just so I decided to kind of cut it up into 2 parts. The MMR is going to be the same as before. Ranking is going to be the same as before, so it's going to be around 1900 to 1950 MMR. This is the build that I'm running. Like I said in the previous video, I would swap out Divine Vision for Searing Glare. Maybe not versus these Hunter teams, which you'll see, you know, it's funny, most of the matches in the first video turned out to be Warriors, most of the matches in the second video turned out to be Hunters. But anyways, nothing is different about the build. That's all I have to say about that, so let's get into the matches. So this first match is a Resto Druid Hunter. The Hunter actually locked me from way over there, and he got the trap. I do go ahead and trinket to get Tears Deliverance rolling, so not a great start to this opening match. This is usually a pretty favorable matchup for us. I would say we win like 60% of these. Survival Hunter seems to be a little bit tougher. I don't know why, even though I think VM is actually better right now. So I do go ahead and hodge the Druid. He does trinket, so I'm going to go over there and blind him on his trinket, but it was a little bit DR'd. He DR traps me, and right here I get the Hand of Sacrifice off, and I'm running Ultimate Sacrifice versus these teams because of this exact scenario right here. So right there, basically neither one of us took damage from any of that, so that's pretty nice. I did juke his kick right there and got a little bit of precog. He's trying to root me, so I am... Oh, he's just throwing traps at me like crazy. I think he was wanting me to freedom myself there, but it was actually on cooldown. I'm not close enough to the Druid to stop that clone and kick it, and I don't think Plum was able to kick it either, and we didn't really want to waste Strangulate on it, because I want to be giving Plum basically all the freedoms, and we want to do the setup that I was talking about in the previous video where we kind of cross CC everybody. So again, they're also on different servers, and these servers are kind of like Azralon's kind of laggy for us anytime we fight people on that server. I do go ahead and give Plum another freedom here, and I'm trying to hold our last Blessing of Protection. I probably need to go ahead and use Lay on Hands sooner than later because of dampening and the Mortal Strike that the Hunter has. You know, it will eventually become useless. It's already 43% dampening right now, so you know, I probably should have used it a lot sooner, to be honest. And you can see Plum swapping, you know, constantly, just back and forth. He wants to get the Resto Druid to swap pots if he can, and the Resto Druid actually didn't fall for it. All he did was regrowth and Life Bloom there, and he's keeping most of his hots up on his Hunter. He actually looked like he used Adaptive Swarm there, but if we can get him to swap his hots constantly back and forth, we can actually run him out of mana. But you can see how conservative he's playing right now. So he does go into his tree form there, and Plum blinds him on the tree form and instantly swaps back to the Hunter. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like that's the real tree form if I'm not mistaken, judging from his buff. So right here, I do have Ultimate Sacrifice. Sadly, I wasn't able to use it before the trap, which is kind of like what we want. I'm going to blind the Druid on the trinket, but again, it's DR'd. I definitely shouldn't have blinded there because I knew that he had just blinded the Druid a second ago, so I knew it was going to be DR'd, so that was really unfortunate. The big cooldown you want to watch for as far as like the Hunters go is going to be his Call of the Wild. It's on a 2-minute window, and if you can, you want to use Blessing of Protection when he uses Call of the Wild. And you're going to see him have like an extra Dire Beast every time he Bestial Wraths. If he has his 4-set, then that Dire Beast is going to do quite a bit of damage whenever he kill commands, but really Call of the Wild is like the big burst damage for Beast Mastery Hunters. So right here you can see we do get Turtle, and we're going to continue to try and CC the Druid as much as we can. I'm going to try and get close to him so I can kick him. and he actually juked me, and I gave him precog. So that was really unfortunate. And, oh, actually, it looks like he juked both of us. So yeah, that was a really, really big blunder. I should have held my kick till the very last second in that scenario. But we do have a ton of pressure. We're kind of equal on mana. We do have ultimate sacrifice back up, and we also have my bubble up. So if I need to, I can ultimate sacrifice and then just bubble, and we'll both be immune for like 6 seconds. Which at this high of dampening, when you're at 57%, that's kind of why I'm just letting him go on me, and I'm not really scared. And right here, he does fake us out there a little bit, but we do finally get the kill. So definitely a tough match. They played better than a lot of the Resto Druid BM Hunters that we have fought. And the next one is going to be another Hunter match, but with a Resto Shaman. So with this one, you can't really run the Resto Shaman out of mana. You kind of just have to kill the BM Hunter. And he's also not running Diamond Ice Trap, so that's something to keep in mind. Like, we can, so right there I tried to bait out the grounding totem, and he fell for it. So now I can hodge him whenever I want to, wait until the grounding went away, and then I hodged him. But what I was saying a second ago is, since he's not running Diamond Ice, his stomp will break me out of traps if he uses barb shot. So Plum can actually stand on top of me, or I can kind of play a little bit more on top of him. I have to juke more kicks and stuff like that because I'm juking the shaman and the hunter. But it's a good way to get out of traps because, again, he's just going to break me out every single time that he stomps, or he can choose, not to stomp and just use Cobra. So Plum's getting a ton of pressure here. I'm like, just let him lightning lasso me because, we're it doesn't matter. Like, most of our attacks are ranged. He's not going to take me down. We have 2 bops, and really, like, the shaman would need to be on me, purging me and kicking him. I do go ahead and bop Plum here, so kind of a questionable one for that. And again, this is a scenario where I need to go ahead and use lay on hands. Using lay on hands on myself right there pretty much has no downside because I'm going to live until forbearance is gone, where I can use the other bop or whatever. So it was really, unfortunate. Also could have dispelled there to get that off before the silence went off. So 2 kind of blunders right there. I need to get to the corner to cast Tears Deliverance over here. So I'm going to run around, then I'm going to cast Tears Deliverance. Plum's going to keep them slowed. He strangulates the shaman, and we're just getting a ton of pressure. Like, the shaman doesn't have freedom, except for his freedom, what I mean. Like, he doesn't have the, like, there we go. He used his freedom on himself, but he doesn't have a Holy Paladin freedom. Kind of like, so we get the link there. And we're going to lose on mana, but we're ahead on cooldowns. I've still got ultimate sacrifice. I have my trinket. They use trap defensively, which is really what you want to see. And I can even try and go for a drink right here if I want to. So I do sack Plum around the corner. So he's not taking any damage for 6 seconds. It's all going to be transferred to me. I'm trying to bait out his grounding totem again. I do bait it out. I think I kicked him there, and now I'm going to get silenced, but I'm going to go for the blind. And I go ahead and do it right there. I'm not sure what broke him out of the blind, but either way, we still have like all the pressure. We're actually ahead on mana now because he's been having to just spam heal the hunter so much. Plum's actually swapping to the shaman for a second. I think I called out that, we'll get back on the hunter. I go ahead and use our second blessing of protection there. So now is where it kind of gets a little scary. That was also really unfortunate that I used Holy Prism right at the time when he double blinded him. Again, we still have lay on hands. So at this point, lay on hands is basically just 5% mana. It's not going to do much with 50% dampening and the MS from the hunter. It looks like I did juke a kick there. I'm not sure whose kick I juked, but right when we hit this, 50% dampening mark, he actually kicked the hex, and I'm gonna hodge over the top of that, and I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go cast Tears Deliverance maybe. Yeah, gonna go cast Tears Deliverance. And we really want to get him out of that earthen wall totem. You can kind of see him just running in a circle around the earthen wall totem. That cooldown is so powerful for shamans. When I'm on my shaman, I've noticed that if I can get my DPS to stand in earthen wall, like, it's insanely powerful. But you have to position it, and you can only move it every so often if you're running totemic projection. So it definitely has a lot of downsides. You have to place it, really, really well. And in solo shuffle, it's almost impossible to place it. It's a nightmare. So right here, the shaman's just kind of going I do blind him at the last second, but we basically had the kill there secured. So kind of an interesting matchup. I think Resto Druid BM Hunter is better, and Resto Druid Disc Priest. And so now here's the last combo. This is Hunter Priest. Now this is a survival hunter, so it's a little bit different. And I think if this is the match that I remember correctly, I didn't play this one very well. So like right there, I hodged into Greater Fade. I didn't have big debuffs turned on for this match, so it was kind of unfortunate. I've kind of gotten used to having big debuffs again, and so when I'm playing without it, I can see myself making a lot more mistakes. I do get scattered, and it gets really sketchy here at the start, but I had Daybreak popped and Tears Deliverance, so I am able to pick him back up. He uses his Pain Sup, and Plum actually plays Disc Priest, so he knows how to counter disc, pretty well. So right there, really bad blind for me. So this is kind of a showcase on little things like that can add up to where you're gonna lose a match. Like I've already messed up 2 of my CCs. We're behind on cooldowns for sure, and right there I could have sacked that trap. So I'm 3 for 3 on this one. I can trinket the fear here, and I really needed to kick him as soon as I trinketed. So really we're 4 for 4 on this one. We do have both Blessing and Protections up. We are both taking a ton of damage, and I'm just trying to catch up on heals. I think I did use Lay on Hands, and it effectively did nothing. But I do use a Blessing and Protection on Plum, and so we have no Lay on Hands, 1 Blessing Protection, 1 Bubble. We don't have Hand of Sacrifice, but now we are finally caught up. He does get the Fear on me, which is unfortunate, but I think right here we should be able to turn the corner. Plum's taking a bunch of damage. Again, I don't have Hand of Sacrifice for that one. I am going to go ahead and bubble. I'm just going to burn it and use it as a trinket because I don't want to fall behind again, and I'm not worried about them, making me into a kill target. Plum grips the priest and strangulates him. He swaps to him. I'm going to run at the priest and kick his penance. Plum's going to swap back, and I'm going to blind the priest. Now that that's gone, the priest has no trinket, and right here we're just going to take down the survival hunter. So really good play by Plum. He kind of carried that match. Honestly, that was just some good play by him. But hope you guys enjoyed these games. Let me know what you think. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like on the video. It helps me a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.